Hi, this is Numeric Citizen. In today's video, get ready for Craft 2.0, which is around the corner and comes with three main new features: styles, tasks, and collections. Today, I'm talking about styles. I'm very excited to talk about the upcoming features that will be part of Craft 3.0. And today I really want to start with I think the most the simpler one, which is the styling options, where you can style your document a little bit more with more flexibility than we used to be able to in the past. So I'm going to talk about that and compare how this style option is better or maybe worse in comparison to what we used to have in the previous version of Craft, especially regarding the use of document templates. First, I think I have to put a disclaimer. I'm not paid again by Craft to do those videos, and also I'm using a late beta version of Craft, which means that the final release could introduce some tweaks to what you're going to see in this video. But I'm pretty confident that regarding styles, things are pretty much stable right now, and so I'm confident that I can share with you all the details regarding the Craft styles features. First, let's get out of the Craft presentation mode by hitting the escape key, and then I'll be switching to this folder where I have this document here that I can use to demonstrate the Craft style feature. So I'll double click on that document, and you will see that there is a new layout here on the right panel where I can hit the style word, and you will see the new layout. And as you can see right now, the first thing is you will notice is that the white page option has been moved from the format section and now is part of the styling option. And then so you can select that and change the width of the document. So here at the top, it's kind of a preview of the current styling of the document. And you can see that I can hit the all style button here, and you will see a style gallery where I have already defined a few styles that I'm planning to use in the future. And then there is also the built-in styling options that you can browse with this browser. There is no organization per se with these styles, so you have to click on those and see how it looks once it is applied. So if you want to go back, you can of course you can do an undo and come back to the previous version, but if you want to see how your document will look, you really have to click on those styling options to see how it plays out. Some styles are pretty heavy in the use of different colors and images. So personally, it's not my style, but some people likes to really put some heavy styling around their documents, and I'm fine with that, but it's not my usual way of working with documents. So there's a bunch of new styles available in the built-in version of Craft. And so once you are there, you can, if you like a specific styling, you can click on those three dots, and then you can select this styling option to become the default one to be used for any new documents that you will be creating in your Craft space. So personally, I still have this one that I want to use to leave it plain, and it is marked as the default one because there is a little pin here at the top right corner. And also there's this little indicator that means that the styling is using a dynamic style feature, which means that if you go in a dark mode or in normal mode, then the document itself will adjust accordingly. I did not experience how we can define a user-defined style template where this dynamic styling can be used. I think it only applies to the default styling of document, but for now I didn't find how to use that. So playing with that, I'll first start to reset this styling. So you can use the backdrop to kind of put a gradient where you can select some default gradient styles that has been included, and then you can also use the effect as immersive, where the gradient is more intense, or faded, which is more lighter, I would say. And then you can also change the direction. Here I would have liked to see icons instead of just the wording. So top to bottom, left to right, and radial, so you can select those accordingly. And also you can set your own colors, but I would have liked an option to swap those, because this is not, sometimes it doesn't work as I would expect. I would prefer to change those colors here, but it's not yet available. You can also set a solid color, but if you use it in the faded mode, it's kind of bringing the same effect than when using the gradient. This is something that we used to have before. By the way, it's not unique to the to this release of Craft. Or you can revert and have no colors. So I really like to put some gradient in my documents. So that's for the gradient, and this is where you can put an image that is either coming from Unsplash or that you can upload yourself from one of your images. And if you are using an images, you can apply the blur effect, which might produce great result, which I don't think it often produce nice results. So I go back to this, and that's for the backdrop. The document content itself can be something else than white. This is where you can select the default color. If you want to make it blue, you can set it like that. You can hit black, you can make it white, or it can be dynamic depending on if you're using the dark mode on your machine. And you can also select a custom color with the typical macOS color selector. And what's new here is that the document color is new and the text color is new. So you can set a color for the old text that will appear. If I select something that is obvious, then anything that you will type is going to take this color. So let's go back to this one. So it will be black and dynamic. The cover here, or the header image, you can set like we used to. So right now it's either the one that I have uploaded, or you can select one from Unsplash, or add another one, or remove it simply. So here for the separator style, I'm going to type a extra light separator. So this is what we used to have like forever in Craft. Now you can and you can change the I would say the type if you wanted to put it bolder, but I like to use the 3 dots. And if I go back in the style option, you can also use what they call the washi tape. It can be fun to play around with those. One thing that I like to do is to select the pattern like this one and select a color that is taken from the styling of my header image here, and then maybe change the pattern accordingly to make it some subtle. And then yeah, every time I select this separator, it will use this styling. If I go back here, change the format, and I make it bolder, then the tape will be thicker and wider. The thing that I find it weird is that sometimes we need to go here in the style and then go there in the format. I'm not sure to understand exactly what's the logic behind this, but it is what it is. If you want to change the styling to something else, instead of using washi tape, you can select here the doodle, and all the doodles in the document will change to the styling. I think that if you click on that, or it's dynamic, it's not always looking the same way. If I copy and paste, you can see that it is changing as I'm pasting that, which I think I find it rather cool. And then of course you can insert text between those doodle. Again, if I go back in format and I select this and change it to different type, then you will have different kind of doodles. So that's for the separator. And then the font. The font is, the default one is the system font. So this is the system font. I can select the serif one. I can choose this one, which is the mono, and the rounded one, which I like quite a lot. The thing is, I would have expected that this release of Craft would introduce support for more fonts, or even if we could just refer to Google fonts, which would be really cool, but it's not the case. I think it would fit really well with the notion of styling your document. But I've been told that this will be added in a future release, fingers crossed. So it is what it is. You can change that as you wish, and the white page. So let's say I like this styling, then I can go here, and then this is the current one. I can go here and click Save, YouTube demo, and then it will be part of all the available style in the style gallery, which I think is rather cool. So this is for the Craft on the Mac. If I switch on the web version of Craft, which is here, I'll hit a refresh on the page. If I click on the, just dismiss that. If I click on the All Style button here, you will see that the behavior is quite different. Here's the style browser in the web version of Craft. So what can I say? It's nice. It's looking nice. But to browse this gallery, you have to scroll with the mouse and see what is available. There is no organization at all. The spacing for me, it's too wide because I prefer higher density user interface and content. And now it's kind of a rather not really efficient way of browsing the gallery. I have to mouse around and see what could be a great fit for my document. One thing to note, and the same applies to the Craft, the Mac version, the doodle there means that this is the doodle that will apply in the document itself if you select this style. And the washi tape here is shown also. If there is a header image, usually the header image also is shown in the thumbnail to let you know what is the header image or the cover image that will be applied to the document. So that's the browser. It makes a cool demo, but again, I'm not sure that I like that. I would rather use this library, which is more or less organized. It's easier to scroll up and down. For some reason, the arrow keys are not working yet. There is no place, there is no gallery in the template gallery, the style gallery. None of them are using the arrow keys. I don't know how it is so hard to implement, if you ask me, but it is what it is again. So there is no other organization of the styling beside having a different name to all the style templates. So again, this is cool, but less efficient. I hope they will keep that, or if they provide two modes for those who prefer to use the wider view. And yeah, it is what it is. Now, what about craft templates? You have to remember that craft templates are actually documents that are stored in the templates folder on the left sidebar. And if I go there, this is the my templates folder. So any documents in this folder are actually templates. So double clicking on this, it will offer me to create a new document or edit this template. So I'm going to edit that one. So let's forget about the craft style for a moment. You could set the background, the header image, and then you could put some content into the template. So in a way, the craft templates goes a little bit further in a sense that you can apply content within the document, which which is not possible in styles. And I understand it's logical. But so you could do that, but the thing that you couldn't do before the styles came to craft is to set the fonts and the document colors. But I think that using the template and the styles together is the best way to take advantage of the craft style and the templates when you are creating documents, and if you want to have documents that are looking rather consistent between each documents, or if you want to create different styles for different types of documents. So this is the best combination, is to take advantage of the templates and the styles applied to the templates. This is what I'm doing actually since I've been testing the version 3. And this is an example here. This is the templates for the ephemeral scrapbook, which is a newsletter that I'm building entirely on Craft. If you are on Slack, in the Slack community, you may have seen that a few times, where I share the Craft version of this newsletter, as well as there is one that I'm publishing on my main website, and that I send as an email. So I'm really using the both features, and this is why if I go in this style here, all style, I do have a style that I'm using because I want to have this all this configuration and formatting attributes that goes together and that are readily available within a style template. The last thing I would like to mention regarding the styling, there is no way to set any styles regarding the headers, sections, which is something that we use in any word processing, like Microsoft Word or even Apple Pages. We can create, or we can set the style, the spacing for headers, and this is something that I would like to see in the future, where depending of the use case, I would like to set the main the formatting here, the attributes for the titles, the headers, and things like that. And it would make formatting documents, and to be consistent about formatting documents, a lot easier, and it would provide a lot more flexibility. Now I want to finish with the Craft version for the iPad, which also will come with the Craft style feature. And I want to demo you this in this environment. So I'm going to show you here on the screen. This is my iPad screen. And so to invoke the styling of a document, you go there, there's this little paintbrush icon at the bottom right corner. If I click on that, there's a new menu that will pop up where you can do a few things. And depending of what is selected here, if I do that, I think you can change. No, you cannot change that. So if you have a block, selected, you can come here and do some styling. But the styles is invoked this way, and you will see the same style gallery that you can use, and then set things accordingly like you would do on the Mac. So that's pretty much the same features. It is obviously adapted to the iPad user experience, and I really like what they did with this release. We can set also the color of the document itself. By the way, I think it's only all those things are for the style option. This is not for selecting like the text here. If you want to do the styling of this, you have to use this menu here. But if you want to work with the new styling feature, it's really this menu that will pop up. So the font, the text color, the document, the background, the backdrop, and the cover image, and the paper. This is what you can use. There's something funny here, because the paper icon, there's a little tiny lines that kind of would have been cool if we had this feature available like we do on the whiteboard, where we can set we used to be able to set the paper type. Here it's only for the color. So that's the iPad version. It's really nice, and I think they did a great job here. So that's it with the Craft styles, which are coming with the Craft 3.0 release. And I hope that you learn a few things with this video. I hope that you have a better understanding of the possibilities with Craft styles. So I will create two other videos regarding the Craft 3.0 release. The other one will be about tasks management, and the last one will be about the collections feature. So I can't wait to share these videos with you guys. So thanks for watching until the very end, and see you guys for another one soon. Bye.